Right, hey everyone, and welcome back to Kate's Comics. If this is your first time watching the channel, make sure you subscribe down below so you never miss another video. If this is not your first time watching the channel, I hope you enjoy this video like all the others. So I thought to myself the other day, last year I made a video tallying up all the books in my collection I've read, all the books I haven't read, and what percentage of my collection I've read. And it was a video that I really enjoyed making at the time. I love seeing how much of my collection I have read and how much I haven't read. So now a year and I think 2 months has passed since I did that video, and a lot has changed. We've got a new setup, we've got a lot more books, and I'm hoping that I've read more books. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So today I want to give you guys a tour of my collection and also let you know what I've read, what I haven't read, and at the end we'll tally up the percentages and I'll give you guys the final results. I'm a bit nervous about this one, to be honest with you. Alright, so starting off with my Marvel shelf. Age of Ultron I've read, Avengers vs X-Men I've read, Civil War, Hawkeye, Omnibus 1 and 2 read, Howard the Duck, Moon Knight, Original Sin, Secret Invasion, read all of those. Amazing Spider-Man Volume 2, both by JMS. Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man by Chip Zdarsky. Life Story and Spider Shadow, also by Chip Zdarsky. Vision by Tom King, and Wolverine Old Man Logan. Read all of this shelf. Then moving on to my DC shelf now. Batman Year 1 and 2, read both of those. Killing Joke, obviously read. Then Batman Black Mirror, New 52 stuff, Kingdom Come and Red Sun, Superman Secret Identity, read all of those. Then DC Vertigo, Preacher, you'll know I've read those because hopefully you'll have seen my Preacher review, which I'll link up here. Then Why the Last Man, My Friend Dharma. Now we're moving on to the indie stuff. So yeah, My Friend Dharma being the first book there. And coming down here, we've got Action Lab Studios, Spencer and Locke Volume 1 and 2, Maniac of New York Volume 1, The Man Who Fucked Up Time, Something is Killing the Children Volumes 1 through 3. Then we've got Lady Killer from Dark Horse. So I've read all of these. The Boys and Dear Becky, Killing and Dying, Shortcomings. If you guys saw my top 10 reads of 2022, I'll link that up here, you'll hopefully know all about Killing and Dying and Shortcomings. Battle Pope 1 through 4. Buzzkill, Crossover 1, Firepower, read all of those. The Fix by Nick Spencer and Steve Lieber, read that. Then God Country and I Hate This Place, which I spoke about in my most recent 5 recent reads, I think it was. Spoke about how much I enjoyed that book. That was so good. I can't wait for volume 2 of that. If you guys haven't checked this out, go check it out. It's so worth it. Really interesting, fun read that, and I read it all in half an hour. It was so quick. It just flew by. Yeah, can't wait for volume 2 of that. And speaking of books that I could not wait to read, books that I love, my favourite series of all time, I love you, Invincible 1, 2 and 3 Compendium, Kill or Be Killed, Last Christmas, Luther Strode. God, this shelf is filled with some of the best books that I own. Yeah, read all of those. And now, moving down, Outcast by Robert Kirkman, read obviously, really love that. Paper Girls, love that. Scene of the Crime, Shirtless Bear Fighter, Kick-Ass, Nemesis by Mark Miller, Craven's Last Hunt, Spider-Man Blue, Hush Part 1 and 2, Last Son of Krypton, Tower of Babel, Superman Secret Origin, Superman Birthright 1 and 2, and Gotham After Midnight. So that completes my read collection. These are all the books that I've read that I own. And yeah, doesn't really seem like that many, but I don't know. I think when I count it, I'm hoping there'll be more than I think. I think there's probably like, what, 70-ish there? I don't know. I'm sure I'll tell you guys in a second when I've counted them all. Right, so moving on now, we have the slip case, the jacket for Spider-Man by Roger Stern. That is because I'm currently reading that. Some books that also aren't here are the Jason Aaron Thor run. If you guys want to know more about Jason Aaron, check out my Beyond the Page up here. Look at me, just plugging all my videos. Then Animosity Omnibus. Cannot wait to read that, actually. I should really get onto that. Ultimate Spider-Man 1 and 2. Haven't read that. And Ultimate Spider-Man, Miles Morales Spider-Man. Haven't read that either. I'm waiting for this to just all come out and then I'm going to binge read it. That's going to be so good. Can't wait for that. Yeah, now we're moving on to the big pile of non-read stuff. God, look at that. Yikes. So you guys probably realise how much the collection has changed in this past year, and that's really what made me want to make this video. I looked back at my old video that I made a year ago, and some of these books are like up here, and this shelf is like a lot more empty. This shelf definitely is a lot more empty. This is my, you know, not read pile, so that's definitely a lot more empty. But yeah, I feel like over the last year I've read loads of interesting books, loads of books that I'm really happy that I've read, and I just wanted to show you guys how much of my collection I have actually read and how much I haven't, to try and force myself to read more. Right, so we ended at the bottom here. Let's start at the top up here. We have Spider-Verse, Spider-Geddon. Haven't read this book yet, but I really, really can't wait to. I've kept it wrapped up here, and I like to put it just like that because I love that cover. I think it looks so, so cool. And yeah, it's great to just show it off in the background of videos. It was here, hence the big gap. But yeah, I think it looks so much better face forward like that. Okay, so now, Die by Kieran Gillen. I have read this issue, but I'm gonna reread it and read all of this at once. I don't feel like I can really put this one issue on its own over there without putting the rest of them. So I'm gonna do a big read through of all of them. Then you'll see some sequels to stuff I have read, like Something is Killing the Children Volume 4 and Maniac of New York Volume 2. That's just because I read those and then the sequel volumes have come out and I haven't got around to them just yet. But I'm planning a big reread of the actual series. And then a big series that I haven't read just yet is the Sweet Tooth Compendium by Jeff Lemire. I actually really enjoyed the Netflix series of Sweet Tooth. I thought it was pretty interesting, and as someone that knows next to nothing about Sweet Tooth other than what I've learned in the Netflix series, yeah, really looking forward to reading that series actually. I've got loads of books here that I want to read, and I keep telling myself I'm going to read them. I just need to get through what I'm reading at the minute so I can move on to what I want to read. Then we have Scott Pilgrim 1 through 6. If you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you'll know how long these have been on my shelves, and I'm sorry to anyone that's a fan, I'm sorry. I will read these eventually. Umbrella Academy, haven't read that, but again, have watched the Netflix show. Criminal by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. Don't know whether or not to wait and try and get a couple more of these deluxe editions and then read it all in one go, or to just read it bit by bit. Then we have Hulk, Planet Hulk, which is a very slim boy, and I'm hoping that I can try and read that all pretty quickly. Maybe do a review of that. If you guys want to see a Planet Hulk video review, let me know down in the comments below, because I'd quite like to do that. It's gonna probably be the first Hulk book that I actually read. Now, moving on to the Hellboy library editions, which I've spoken about time and time again. I just need to get these read. Yeah, really, really need to read these. You know what I need? And I never ever thought I'd say this, but what I need is another lockdown. So I can just read all of my books. I can lock myself in the flat and I can just read all of these books and fester. That sounds horrible. But yeah. Then Batman, Dark Knight Strikes Again and Dark Knight Returns. Deadpool 1, 2 and 3 by Daniel Way. Infidel. I still need to read this. That's going to be one I definitely read soon because I really do want to read that. Batman and Robin Eternal, part 1 and 2, and then also over here, Batman Eternal, part 1 through 4. I know I'm skipping around, but that's just because that's the same series. Need to read that. I do want to read more Batman. I haven't read Batman for ages now. Then we've got the end of the New 52 stuff. I was thinking of doing a New 52 retrospective. Yeah, haven't read that for ages, so I might do a big reread of the whole New 52 era of Batman. It was what got me into comics. It's what I really enjoyed reading when I was reading comics. When I was getting into comics. So now that I've read a bit more stuff, I might go back to that and give more of my thoughts rather than just, oh yeah, it was all right, or no, I didn't like it. So yeah, I might go back to this and give this a read. Then The Walking Dead, Robert Kirkman, Southern Bastards. Need to read this. I want to get all of these so I can do a big binge read. That seems to be a really popular theme on my channel, is like waiting and getting these books and in the meantime not reading them, where I should just be reading them. Moving now to some of my Omnis. This is The Amazing Spider-Man by Nick Spencer with art from Ryan Otley and Humberto Ramos. Yeah, I'm going to just read that. I know there is a volume 2 coming out and I have it pre-ordered at the minute, but I'm probably just going to read it before it even comes out. House of M Omnibus. Really want to read that as well. That's a very whammy boy. Jupiter's Legacy. I'm going to give those a read, see if I enjoy them, get the rest of the series. I think there's 6 trade paperbacks. Batman Nightfall. Yeah, I really like The Dark Knight Rises, and essentially that takes a lot of inspiration from that, doesn't it? So I'd like to read that. Dial H from the New 52. I did actually read half of that, and then I can't remember why, but for some reason I stopped reading it. I don't know why I did that. I think I wasn't
wasn't the biggest fan, which doesn't really bode well. The Witcher, need to read that because that's been on my shelves for ages. Legacy Part 1 and 2, which is a Batman story, and then also Legacy Part 3 over here, which I discovered last time I did a room tour. Oblivion Song 1 and 2, Low 1 through 4 by Rick Remender, Chew 3 and 4. I don't know why I've got 3 and 4. Low by Rick Remender. I need to read that because I need to know whether or not it's actually good. It was a blind buy, so I need to know whether or not it's worth having. Finally now, the last shelf. We have Upgrade Soul, which I do really want to read. Pride of Baghdad, Thor the Mighty Thor Heroes Return. I'm going to read that just because that was a book I got for about 30 quid, I think, off Zavvi. So I'd like to read that, just classic Thor stuff. Maybe read that after I've read Jason Aaron's Thor run and War of the Realms. Speaking of War of the Realms, that's another one I need to read. But in between that, we've got What If 1 and 2. There's some books I just want to read because I like wacky Marvel books. And now, moving away from wacky Marvel books, Batman by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. I have read The Long Halloween and Dark Victory, and I really liked it. Thought it was really, really good. Haven't read the Catwoman stuff that's collected in that. When in Rome, is that what it's called? But yeah, it was nice just to have them all collected in one place in a big omnibus, and so I thought I'd get that, and now I just need to read it. Not The Walking Dead, Rick Grimes 2000. I mean, it's got Ryan Otley and Robert Kirkman on it. I'm not going to not buy it, am I? And then finally, Watchmen by Alan Moore. Yeah, there are quite a few books on here, actually, that I need to read. There are a lot more books on here that I desperately want to read than I realise. I think what I'll probably do now is go away, make a list, and maybe even timings of when I'm going to plan to read them. I think that might really help me. So if I go away and plan to maybe read, I don't know, this Deadpool series in July and then Die in August and stuff like that, that might really help me to actually plan where or when to read the books, especially with the bigger books like the omnibuses that I have. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below how you guys plan and how you guys manage your to-be-read pile. Without further ado, I'll now cut back to myself, sat talking about how many of these books I have read and how many I haven't, and giving you guys the final percentages. So, see you later. Thanks guys for checking out this room collection. And yeah, let's get into the percentages.
So as you guys just saw my collection, you'll have seen how much of it has changed. And I have here the results. I am very nervous. So, the total number of books that I currently possess is 188, which is slightly less than the last time I did this video, which was 196, I think. So that's going to be primarily upgrading the books to omnibus, upgrading the books to hardcovers, things like that. And of that 188, I have read 99 of those books. So that gives me a percentage read of 53%. That is slightly less than last time, which I think was 56. Although I now have less books, my percentage has also gone down. If some of you have done the quick maths in your head, the total books that I've not read is 89, which gives me a percentage of 47% not read. As I mentioned, this is because I've upgraded some books to omnibus, I've upgraded some books to hardcovers, things like that. The books that I have read, I've sold as well. And so yeah, definitely need to get those numbers up. If there was anything on my shelves that you guys saw that you'd like to see a review of, or you'd like to see in 5 recent reads, let me know down in the comments below, because it would give me a kick up the backside to read them finally. So yeah, that is my updated 2023 version of this video. It's my collection tour and also how many books have I actually read from my collection. Let me know down in the comments below what your percentage is, and let me know as well how many books you think you've read, how many books you haven't read. I just want to know the sizes of people's collections. Basically, let me know down in the comments below your version of this. I would really love to know. Thank you guys so much for watching. If anyone is still watching, I hope you enjoyed this video. And just before I go, I just want to remind you guys, if you enjoyed this video, leave me a like and consider subscribing down below. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and I really hope we can do it. Fingers crossed. So yeah, hit that subscribe button down below. That does it for today, so I'll see you guys later. Thanks guys for watching. See you later. Bye guys. Bye.